Fox News judge Jeanine Pirro does not think former President Donald Trump should be the president. Again, at least going by what she said about former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton back in 2016. Huffington Post pointed out that Pirro, who is a co-host of Fox News The Five, has not been shy about her support for Trump. However, in a 2016 episode of her own Fox show, Judge Jeanine, she has a lot of harsh words about someone who sounds an awful lot like the former president. We cannot have a country led by a president subject to ongoing criminal investigations, potential indictments, and never-ending hearings. We cannot have a president under that level of scrutiny that inevitably leads to even more questions and more investigations. And irrespective of what happens to her, whether she is indicted or even guilty, it doesn't matter. Her guilt is a moot point. She cannot take the Oval Office, obviously. Pirro is not referring to Trump here. She's referring to Clinton, who was never charged with any crimes relating to emails on her private server. But Pirro's tirade against a presidential candidate with so much hanging over them, it feels like she's talking about someone else now. In any other business, when the head of a corporation is plagued by scandal, that person steps down and is replaced because the board knows a business cannot succeed without respect and authority. How do you think the world is going to look at the United States when a woman under federal criminal investigation who's lied repeatedly to the American people is elected? Do you think they'll take her at her word? Just think. We can have our own world joke like Bunga Bunga Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi under constant investigation while in office and then sentenced to prison. Pirro goes on to say that a potential president needs to be focused on running the country without the distraction of something like, say, court dates. We need a commander-in-chief focused on daily briefings, not one who, along with her staff, is worried about her and her spouse's investigation and what leverage can be used to shut that investigation down, worried about what vulnerabilities they have, or whether they are being blackmailed or extorted. According to Pirro, someone with a proven track record of bad judgment should also not be holding the highest office in the land. She is a woman guilty of bad judgment over and over. What makes you think her judgment is going to get better, or that she's going to work for you, or even think about you with the sword of justice at her? In America, everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And Trump has pleaded not guilty to all 91 counts against him so far. But Pirro said that's not enough, guilty or not guilty. She is a woman who is neither capable nor worthy of leading our great nation, to be clear. And the reason I left all the female pronouns in these excerpts from Pirro's monologue. Pirro is not talking about Donald Trump in any of these statements. But it is also crystal clear where she stands on presidential candidates who are currently under criminal investigation. The Post watched Jeanine Pirro furiously argue that any presidential candidate facing criminal investigations should be disqualified first appeared on Mediaite.